Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we're going to be discussing the issues involving organizational commitment that we found within the Walton College of Business. But first, I think it's best that we introduce ourselves. So, my name is Belle Haney.
I'm Hannah Heineman.
I'm Hadley Newell.
I'm Hartley Weaver.
And I'm Anna Claire Roach.
Organizational commitment is decreasing among Walton students because many students begin studying business without understanding the importance that networking provides to their future success. As a result of this, students become overly stressed and begin to lack motivation that they need to succeed in this field.
So, factors causing students to overlook the importance of networking is first, limited awareness of network value, and second, focus on academic achievement alone, and the third is missed exposure to real world connections.
And so now we're looking into how stress impacts a student's commitment to a field of study. And this is outlined in chapter 5 of our textbook, where it defines stress as a psychological response to demands that exceed a person's ability or capacity. And so this is seen through two types of stressors, and we're going to focus on hindrance stressors. So there are work hindrance stressors and non-work hindrance stressors. And so role conflict occurs when leaders in the Walton College have higher expectations for the students understanding the networking process than the actual expectations that students have for themselves. And then there's also role ambiguity when many students lack clarity in their roles and the information needed to accomplish what needs to be done within their role as a business major. And then there's also some financial uncertainty as students begin to learn the importance of networking, and that creates some stress and uncertainty, which can cause a lot of students to switch their career paths to something that provides them with more certainty.
So, in support of that, we have a few models. So, this first one we pulled from our textbook, and it's just saying that hindrance stressors have proven to have a strong negative effect with organizational commitment. And then we have a chart down here, and if you notice the top factors, they are salary after graduation, job prospects after graduation, and lack of interest or passion for the major. And these relate just because, financial uncertainty is something that strings from hindrance stressors, which decrease organizational commitment. And then job prospects and lack of interest go hand in hand with job ambiguity and also just other hindrance stressors, just because it makes you lose motivation and students no longer want to pursue something that they obviously don't like or that doesn't motivate them anymore.
So, how does motivation impact a student's commitment to a field of study? Our textbook highlights motivation as a set of energetic forces that originated both within and outside of an employee, initiates work-related effort, and determines direction, intensity, and persistence. And self-efficacy is also defined as the belief that a person has the capabilities needed to successfully perform a task. This is one of the most critical factors in measuring one's motivation levels. And to obtain self-efficacy, people need to feel confident in what they're pursuing. And in our case, when someone has high role ambiguity, it can cause a significant increase in self-efficacy and their motivation levels overall. Some factors that contribute to low self-efficacy are vicarious experiences, which is just when one takes on the success or failure of their peers when performing similar tasks, and emotional cues, which are cues that determine feelings of fear or anxiety related to completing a certain task.
This model illustrates that role ambiguity and emotional exhaustion both lead directly to work alienation. In our terms, role ambiguity leads to exhaustion, which is a decrease in overall motivation. These variables lead to significant decrease in organizational commitment. In the model above, it portrays a high level of motivation exerts a moderate positive correlation with organizational commitment. This further supports our statement that increased stress within the college decreases student motivation, leading to switch in majors.
So, how can the Walton College create a solution to this issue? We've come up with 3 solutions. The first is peer-to-peer networking programs, where we create student-led networking groups where peers practice introductions, share LinkedIn tips, and discuss career paths. The second is faculty and alumni mentorship, where we pair students with alumni or faculty members early into their program, and we require regular check-ins to help reduce uncertainty and motivate students by using real-world experiences. And the last is stress relief and networking events, where we host informal mixers that combine wellness activities with networking opportunities.
As for the expected outcomes of the solutions that were proposed in the last slide, We're expecting to see reduced stress among students in the Walton College, as well as increased motivation, and then also just overall stronger organizational commitment.
All right, and then next we used a AI tool, Microsoft Copilot, to do our feasibility testing, and it came up with these results. So basically, this is just the report. So it's the summary of the problem that we chose to focus on, and then our proposed solution, which we just went over. So the first thing that they tested was the technical feasibility, and it's just saying that these can be implemented using existing student organizations and alumni networks. So they're logistically super simple and require very minimal infrastructure changes. And then for operational feasibility, it requires, obviously faculty and alumni engagement and student participation, which could be hard, but the success depends on marketing and incentives. So integration with curriculum could enhance adoption. It'd be difficult, but we could get student engagement and we could get alumni engagement as well, as long as we just made it worth it for those people. Financial feasibility. So the costs are modest. There's really not much to it. Networking events, you really just need like an event center, a venue, food, refreshments, just stuff like that. And then funding can come from student fees, alumni donations, or sponsorships. And honestly, it wouldn't be that expensive. So the risks and challenges, really what we have is low student participation, because it could be perceived as extra work and just an extra thing to do without getting extra credit. And then also alumni availability and willingness to commit. So those could be two factors that we might need to consider, but we could make them work given the proper circumstances. And then the overall verdict that we received is that the solution is highly feasible and it has a low financial burden with moderate operational effort, strong potential impact on stress reduction and motivation, and success hinges on the effectiveness of communication, faculty and alumni engagement, and student incentives.
We've discussed many things in our conversation today. We've discussed the issues that we have discovered concerning organizational commitment within the Walton College of Business, the factors that affect the low levels of organizational commitment, and our proposed solutions to fix these issues. And we've also conducted a feasibility test using AI tools such as Microsoft Copilot. And finally, we just want to say thank you for your consideration and thank you for your time today.